Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
That's what I'm talking about. All of our guests today, including Ross Tucker, standing by, brought to you by the Waddling Dog Pub. After an exciting summer, the Waddling Dog Pub is gearing up for another busy fall season. Come cheer on the Canucks, Lions, Whitecaps, Seahawks, Mariners, all while enjoying one of their 19 taps, including beer, wine, and cider. Check out the daily happy hour from 4 to 6, every UFC pay-per-view and attached liquor store and hotel. Also, don't forget to grab some D&D, Donnie and Dolly merch as well. The Dog, the place to be this sports season, as we bring in from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, CBS Sports and Westwood One, Ross Tucker. Ross, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
I am doing awesome. I'm a big fan of the Waddling Dog Pub. Don't they sell your merch there?
They do. We got, hats.
That's amazing.
Golf balls, hoodies.
They have a Donnie and Dolly drink.
I would get like a T-shirt with just a picture of Rick's face on it.
They have a Donnie and Dolly drink, Ross. A drink.
What is it?
It's Crown Royal with juice. What's the juice, Donnie?
I'm not sure, actually.
Cranberry juice.
The bottom line, it's Crown Royal, which is Canadian whiskey, and it's pretty popular up here.
Can I tell you guys a quick Crown Royal story?
Go ahead.
All right. My dad, my whole life growing up, Crown Royal was his drink. I mean, that was it.
Nice.
Huge Crown Royal guy. There was never not 3 Crown Royal bottles above the fridge where my parents kept the liquor. One time when I was in 10th grade, my dad pulled out the Crown Royal. My sister's 4 years older than me. I think I was in 10th grade. My dad pulled out 2 bottles of Crown Royal. One was about half full, one was totally full, brand new, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he showed them to me. And it was very clear the half full one had been watered down a little bit. And my dad said to me, listen to me, I don't want you to drink any of this stuff. But if you do, don't you dare ever think I'm that stupid to water it down. I know what Crown Royal looks like. Now your sister ruined the whole bottle. Amazing.
That's awesome. We'll have to get him on as a sponsor of this show.
Great.
Hey, Ross, obvious question here to an ex-player. How tough was it to watch what Nick Chubb went through last night?
Yeah, awful. Absolutely awful for so many different reasons, right? I mean, number one, I've known him since he was in high school. I called the U.S. Army Bowl when Nick was a senior. By the way, physically looked just like he does now. Like 17 years old, maybe 18, just so impressive looking. So I've known him for a while. That's number one. Number two, I know how much these guys put into it to get ready for the season. And, before every game, I would pray, and I've talked to you guys about this before.
Yeah.
I would pray and just say, Lord, please keep me and all the other guys free from any type of serious or life-altering injury. Now, I don't think this is a life-altering injury for Nick Chubb. There's a very good chance it's a career altering. Yeah. I mean, at least altering. I don't know if it's threatening, but career-altering injury for him. And the other thing that, you realize more as you get older, like me now, that's the only knee he's got, right? Like, the only, his left knee? Like, that's the only left knee he's got. And you realize now, my right knee, my back, those are, omnipresent in terms of my thought process in life. The activities I do when I sit in a bar or at a restaurant, I just think that to be conscious of. And it's not complaining. I knew what I signed up for. It is what it is. But I just don't want other people. I want guys to have as little of that as possible, right? And then you think about his family. His family and friends are watching that. Imagine me and his mom, and you see that happen to your son's body. It's just it's a really, really, really brutal game. It's the worst part of the sport.
You tweeted out something to this effect, but we saw what happened with Saquon Barkley as well, and another running back or two on the weekend. They're just so susceptible to injuries, Ross. Is that one of the reasons why running backs, relatively speaking, aren't getting paid as much as a lot of people think they should?
Yeah, so I don't really think it has a lot to do with the position itself in terms of the importance to the team. I think it is more there's not a real good track record of when you give these guys big money second contracts of feeling like they were able to give you good return on that investment. Right? I mean, if you look at all these guys, Todd Gurley and Zeke Elliott, you have to start to think, well, are they glad they did that? Was that a good investment? Did they get a return on that? And so I think more and more teams have realized that, whether it's a devastating injury like Chubb, whether it's an injury that keeps the guy out for a few weeks like Barkley, or I think just in general, the belief is during that second contract, because of the number of hits that they take and the nature of the position, they're going to wear down. I think people think it's a young man's game. It's a young man's position in particular. Even last night watching Tony Jones when he got out there for the Saints, it's a young guy trying to make his living. I mean, he was running. I mean, he was getting after it. And I think there's something to be said for drafting late round guys or young guys that are hungry and taking them through their first contract and then getting the next one.
Ross, a lot of people thought the Seahawks might go into Detroit, get hammered, and then you see this gut check win, character win. How impressed were you with the Seahawks?
Very, very. That was a huge win. Yeah. And somewhat surprising to me because the Lions had extra time to prepare. Lions home opener. People were so excited about it. And to lose that game, the Jared Goff pick six was obviously huge. But I think the fact that the Seahawks gave up the lead and then still had the mental fortitude to win the game, I thought that was highly encouraging for them, that they showed they could overcome even the bad intentional grounding call. I mean, that is a mentally tough team that bounced back from a real bad week one.
Russell Wilson, the Hail Mary, Ross, but they can't get the 2-point conversion. They're 0-2, but do you think Sean Payton has seen enough progress? We're not seeing the hate for Russell Wilson early that we saw last year.
Well, because they're actually scoring points.
Yeah.
I mean, they've put up over 20-some points both games. This last game, what was it, 35 or 33? He's made some good throws, some good deep throws. He's not turning it over like crazy. He is definitely improved. He's definitely playing better. I'm not saying he's Seattle Russell, but he's definitely playing better. But they're still losing.
Yeah.
2 games at home to teams I think are bottom 10, maybe not the Commanders anymore, but bottom 10 in the Ross Tucker Football Podcast power rankings. That's bad. I mean, that's a bad look if you are 0-2 at home against 2 teams that I don't think many people think are going to have winning records.
Yep.
0-2. Speaking of which, surprisingly, Chargers, Bengals, Vikings all 0-2. Joe Burrow's got the calf issues again. Which of those teams should be most worried, Ross?
Probably the Chargers. I don't know. I don't think the Vikings. Kirk Cousins is. You know what's interesting to me about that? Mm-hmm. Cousins has played well. Herbert's played well. Mm-hmm. Those teams have both been in 2 close games. They just don't close it out. There's certain quarterbacks that seem. Now it's unfair to Cousins because they won every close game last year. So I won't even go there. But Herbert's starting to not have a real good track record for getting it done when he needs to get it done late in games.
Okay, also, Ross, you worked, if I'm not mistaken, Patriots and Dolphins. And just on your Twitter feed, just glowing about Gillette Stadium, the broadcast location and the press box food.
Yeah.
I imagine it ranks high. I know you played with New England, but I imagine it ranks high in your list of NFL facilities.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't really have any affinity for the 18 snaps I played for the Patriots or whatever it was. I don't really even count that hardly. My starts were in the other 3 stops. But, yeah, I mean, first of all, most teams now are like it's the movie Dirty Dancing, and like they put Baby in the corner. They put the radio booth in the corner. That's most teams now, but not New England. I mean, it's a beautiful, perfect radio booth that is much appreciated. The location and the food's always good. I mean, they had like chicken thighs that were so good. They had pulled pork, brisket, a nice salad. They always have the chowder. Get yourself some chowder. And then they have cookies that are this big, like as big as my face.
Wow.
And I did that move where I was like trying to be healthy. So I would just break the gigantic cookie into half or into a quarter to not have the whole thing. But then I did that like 20 to 25 times throughout the night. So I probably had the equivalent of 7 cookies. I would have been better off if I just ate 3 whole cookies, because if you piece together all my pieces, it was a lot.
Wouldn't your sister be disappointed that you didn't think much of your time with the Patriots because she made a big deal about you playing with Tom Brady?
Yeah.
No, it was fine. I just like nobody ever says to me, man, you were awesome with the Patriots. Really appreciate your time. And rightfully so. I barely played there. So it was a short stint. I mean, it was the second half of 2005. And then 2006, they traded me to Cleveland like a week into training camp. I got nothing wrong with the Patriots. It's just not like, I guess it's funny because the team I have the most affinity for is the Buffalo Bills. And then probably Washington, because I started my career there and finished it there. And then I started a bunch of games for the Cowboys. The Patriots are just like the Tom Brady stories. You're like the other team.
Yeah, Cleveland, Washington, though, the cookies there, nothing compared to New England. Hey, Ross, I know you got to go. We thank you so much for this. We'll talk to you next week.
Of course. Did Rick only get one question in?
No, I got two quality questions.
Oh, Seahawks and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like the strategy of having Rick ask less questions because then he's less likely to get ripped by me. I know you guys discussed this. But that's a good job. I'm considering Donnie is the GM and the head coach and the quarterback, and Rick plays left guard like me.
I don't sleep well at night. I don't sleep well the night before, Ross. I don't sleep well the night before you come on.
Awesome. See you guys.
You bet. Thanks, Ross. Appreciate it.